Hello there! Witajcie, z tej strony Przemek 14 Kerka. Dzisiaj sobie właśnie zagramy Vampyra. Kolejny odcinek Vampyra to będzie. Mam 5. level postaci. Tak. I coś tutaj więcej? Ktoś przyszedł? Schowek uzupełnić. Wyjdź. Ktoś do mnie przyszedł. Ale jaja.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Właśnie, i gdzie... Dlaczego ja nie mogę wody przynieść? O, to jest... Uuu! Jakaś wiadomość. Dobra, pośpieszmy się, dobra, co się tu dzieje? No. Co się tu dzieje?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Kryzys?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but
Chyba kryzys wieku średniego. Macie, kurczę. Nic tu nie ma. Nikt nie ma tu wstępu? Żadnych środków...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
you have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic,
Co to
supplies
za
have been running
szpital
scarce
jest?
for
Kurczę, ja
months
się
now.
pytam. Co to za
I may have
szpital?
a solution.
Jestem
In France, during the
profesjonalnym
war, drugs
wampirem.
shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
Szpitalny
The
magazyn.
storeroom. Fat chance. This is the Pembroke.
Nie macie
and
czegoś
space
takiego?
is luxury we don't
To
have.
co to jest za szpital? Jak nie ma
Everything used to be
magazynu.
stored in the old morgue.
Logistyka leży i
Perhaps I
kwiczy
should
w
look
tym
there
momencie.
first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large
Kostnica.
building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key.
Kostnica.
It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital.
Szczegóły. Klucz. Super, mam klucz. A mogę sobie teraz zmienić... bo mam piłę, zwyczajną piłkę chirurgiczną. I coś tutaj jeszcze mogę zmienić. Chciałbym może kołek sobie zamienić. O, na kołek. I będę kołkiem usi. To niech będzie na trójce. Halo. Właśnie, niech to będzie na trójce. I zobaczymy. Koszt brak, więc
A small door at the
może
end
mi
of
się
a
to
narrow
fajnie
street.
przyda.
On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Zaraz.
Yes, Doctor?
Nigdy nie
Why
odpoczywasz?
then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Okej, kiedy sypiasz?
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
Ta,
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster.
właśnie.
I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
Jak
London's
Obi-Wan
trenches start
Kenobi.
here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
Jak Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ten. Dobra, żegnam.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane, thank you.
Jak Obi-Wan Kenobi. Death Sticksy. Death Sticksy sobie zjada. No to jest coś...
It's locked. It's locked.
No nie no. Locked.
I cannot enter.
I cannot enter. Enter. Dokumentacja medyczna. Pacjent, 28 lat. głębokim poparzeniu. A, to ten co... komu... wybuchła bomba przed mordą i go poparzyło, tak? A tutaj coś fajnego się znajduje. Na razie do starej kostnicy muszę zawędrować. A do tego potrzebuję gdzieś tam się udać, nie? Milton sobie tutaj ten. Tipec. Clay Cox.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed, still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Aha, XD. Dobra. Potrzebuję wskazówki, a twoje życie... Jak...
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. As long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal?
Medalu?
I thought the saving lives was part of the job.
Medalu
Must be an
olimpijskiego w
unsatisfactory
dodatku.
profession at this time, I'm sure.
Dobra. O,
Do you
właśnie.
ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother.
Revenge is
Poor
not
arsehole
the
thought
Jedi
it would be
way.
easy to return the favor.
O, jakaś wskazówka. Jesteś potworem! Jak Rey... Kurczę. Nie za bardzo się skupiłem na tym, co powiedział. Kurde, no. Dobra,
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
Może, a jeszcze
What
raz
did he
jakbyś mi
want?
powiedział?
Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole
Chyba,
thought
że
it
to
would
już
be
się...
easy to return the favor.
Only the strongest survive, then?
I'm the
Aha, dobra.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
Dobra. Osobiste pytania. O!
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay? I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully.
Kogo opłacić? A więc przekupstwo. Wkrótce umrzesz. Wkrótce umrzesz. Ale mu przepowiem mu, nie. Wszyscy musimy... Sprawiedliwość się
Police may
doścignie.
be slow, but they will find you eventually.
Well, how come you didn't turn me in then? Nah, Doc. I figure you have something to hide, so you can't ask the coppers for help.
Co? Ale coś zrąbałem teraz.
How
Nie!
long do
I know
you... The police...
Well, how come...
No nie, no dupę jeża.
I'll leave you for...
Trochę zrąbałem. Co się tutaj dzieje? Halo. A
Good
ty co?
evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, doctor.
Goodbye.
A coś zrąbałem z tym gościem. Nie wiem, ja cię chyba zaraz wyssę ci krew. Ty jełopie jeden. Będziesz mi tu... Dobra. To w takim razie... To jest jakieś dziwne miejsce. Dobra, a tutaj jakiś burdel totalny jest, nie? Jak widzicie. Dobra, wchodzimy. Jest loading screen. To oznacza, że będziemy... Stara kostnica. Zdrowy. No ja nie wiem, czy tutaj wszyscy zdrowi są, jak tutaj takie się rzeczy dzieją. Jest totalny burdel. Fiolka się przyda. Dobra. Na pewno się takie rzeczy przydadzą się. Ajajaj, chyba wyszedłem Chyba wyszedłem, no nie! Ej. Wyszedłem, to nie, to... Czekajcie. Coś tutaj nie halo wyszło, nie? Coś tutaj nie halo. Ewidentnie. Dobra. Ej, halo!
It's locked, all right.
It's locked. Tutaj coś ciekawego znajdziemy. No miejsce, kurczę. Te mają najważniejsze rzeczy. I tutaj trzymają te rzeczy. Ja nie mogę, co za patałachy. Hey! Czekaj, bo...
Behavior
Dobra.
is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
A więc to są takie rzeczy. Papierośnica, jakieś tutaj pierdoły. No, czy coś tutaj znajdę, coś fajnego?
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Do kostnicy, tak? Am, niam, 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 niam. Ha! 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 Raz! I znowu! Łyk, łyk, łyk. Krwi. Niam, 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 niam. Okej. Porobiony typ. Chinina. Także możemy... O, tutaj coś jest. Szylingi. Jakieś tutaj rzeczy jeszcze dodatkowe. Czy coś jeszcze tutaj znajdę? Jakaś krewka. Mam tutaj poszukać użytecznych substancji medycznych. Winian żelaza pod chloryn sodu. No to kurczę, ale... To jeszcze coś nie ma takiego, żebym mógł powiedzieć, że wyczyściłem to miejsce. O nie, tutaj coś jeszcze jest.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers.
Dobra.
As
Możemy...
popular as they are ineffective.
Halo.
But
Coś
they
tutaj
do contain
wyskoczyło
iron
nagle.
tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Jakiś typ. Dobra.
These skulls feed from corpses in the husk.
Niam, 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 niam.
They're not after blood.
O! O nie, 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 nie! On mnie też wysysa. O ty! Dobra, ja nie wiem co ja zrobiłem. Ale widzicie, moją umiejętność użyłem. Ale nie wiem jak to działa dokładnie. Oj. Nie wiem jak to działa dokładnie. Muszę się wam przyznać. Dobra, ej. Okej. I... Nie! I dwa! I łyk, łyk krwi, łyk krwi. Niam, 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 hej! I nie ma gościa. Ale łatwo. Bardzo fajnie, bardzo fajnie. Tylko coś mi tu... skrzyneczka jakaś, coś fajnego, jakiś lucik by się tutaj fajny przydał. Niż tylko tutaj takie... szylingi, może być, może być. A tutaj coś się znajduje. Tutaj się na razie nic nie znajduje. Raz i dwa. O! O nie, 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 nie! O! Ale dostałem... Oj! O ty, dziado. Dobra. Ja chyba muszę ulepszyć te swoje specyfiki. Ja chyba muszę poulepszać też wszystkie swoje rzeczy. Tutaj też jest jakieś wejście. A.
It's locked, all right.
Kurczę, zablokowane wszystko. Używany nóż amputacyjny. O kurde. Okej, ale... Nie wiem, czy to... O! Śledztwo. Milton. Sukces. Tutaj... Nie wiem, czy tu będzie sukces. Ale było 3000 PD. O. Ale muszę mieć piąty poziom akcji. Piąty poziom akcji. Tipec. No coś... Doktor Corcoran Tippets. No,
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
zaraz. I czy tutaj... O,
Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
kurczę, ale jasno tutaj. Tej części.
The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened.
Otworzyli,
Traces of
strzyli...
a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps?
Death Sticky brał od Obi-Wana. Narkomana.
A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful.
Okej.
Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr.
Oh.
Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Właśnie, czas na pogawędkę, ale zanim to poczekajcie momencik. Dobra. Z powrotem jesteśmy. Idziemy tutaj. I... O, jest bossik. O kurczę, co mi robi? O! O! Ojej. Niedobrze. Oj, zmarnowałem umiejętność. Stawia opór. Szaleniec. Nie! Dlaczego ja mam tylko uniki do robienia? A, dobra, złapałem go. Swoje sidła. Nie wiem, powinien chyba zmienić broń. Zmienić broń, bo ta piła to nic mi nie robi. Używana pałka. O, spróbujmy pałką. O. Dobra, troszkę życia sobie muszę podbudować. Dobra, pałka mu robi. O, stawia opór. Kurczę, dać mu w ryj. I pałkę. I stawia opór. Co za ciul. Nie! No, uderzyłem go pałką. Znaczy, nie pałką, tylko ten drugi gównem. O dobra, udało się go ogłuszyć, żeby wybić mu... Ajajajajajaj! Kurczę, oni się tak... Dawać go pałką okładać. Typa. Stawia opór. Ajajajajajaj. Dawaj. Kurczę. Dawaj go, tak. Pij mu. I pałką go! Kurde, no.
These skulls can be so
Skale.
ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Mogę się... zlutować go nie mogę, ha.
Sodium hypochlorite.
Mam
Dangerous
roztwór
to
pod
administer,
chlorynu
but
sodu.
efficient in the proper dosage.
Coś tutaj jeszcze mogę znaleźć? Ciekawego? Czy nie zbyt? No, chyba już niezbyt tutaj. Już nie mogę nic... Kurczę. Dobra, mam tutaj jakąś enigmatyczna receptura. Coś ciekawego. A tutaj... O, tutaj mogę coś zbadać? Rzemiosło. Zbadaj. Wszystko zbadamy. Łagodna dawka surowicy. Okej. Serum regeneracyjne. W sumie to nie wiem. Coś jeszcze... Na anemię, o. Na przeziębienie, na zapalenie oskrzeli, na zapalenie płuc. No to ciekawe, rzemiosło. Ale na razie nie będę chciał ich zrobić tutaj. Kurczę, jakie są tutaj... jakie są tutaj creepy rzeczy. Creepy dźwięki. Także widzimy się za chwilę, jak będziemy gdzieś tam bliżej. Bliżej szpitala. Dobra, jesteśmy z powrotem. Tutaj jakiś gościu jest i pogadamy.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir.
Newton.
Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... Well, we had a disagreement.
I tak właśnie
And Oswald
Newton...
ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend.
Co pan tu robi?
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
Człowieku... Ten... Nie no, po prostu... Rozumiecie, ludzie. On szuka szpitala, a szpital jest tuż obok niego, tuż nad nim.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose.
No to wracamy do
So I
rynsztoku
couldn't
chyba.
go after him.
Chyba do rynsztoka.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher.
Thatcher.
We survived the war together. Oswald is
Nerwowy.
nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
Dobra. Opowiedz
What can you
sobie.
tell me about yourself?
I'm
Newtonie.
Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
Żegnam.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Uuu. Ma 2100 PD, Newton. Isaac Newton to jednak ma dużo punktów doświadczenia. A ty, stary dziadu? Poszukam coś... A, mam stworzyć środek na zmęczenie. O, tutaj sobie gadają. A właśnie. Co to miało być? Panie Tippets.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
No, dobrych wieści to ja nie mam o sobie.
Kokorin, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Pomyłka jak
What was
inne.
the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Doświadczenie
Who was
powiadasz,
this
tak?
patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the
Udało
docks,
ci się
maybe a
zdobyć
fisherman.
doświadczenia. Z
I
tego
had no
czasu.
time to talk with him. No one claimed the body.
Goodbye,
Żegnam.
Dr. Tippett.
Żegnam pana. Ile on ma? O, już chyba mu wzrasta nieznany jakiś tam typ jest. Ale pogadamy jeszcze z tą Gwyneth.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Fajnie. Fajnie rozmawiać z plecami wampira, nie?
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
Nie miałaś prawa. Dużo ryzykowałaś. Rozumiem, dlaczego to zrobiłaś. Dużo ryzykowałaś.
Perhaps you did it with the best intentions, Nurse Brannigan, but you took a great risk. Must I remind you that a man died?
You mean you've never made a mistake? Never covered your tracks? Come on, Doctor. I wasn't born yesterday.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett is a brilliant practitioner. We most
Profesjonalista.
definitely need his know-how.
I
Robi
hope you're right.
wrażenie.
This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you
Dobra.
found out.
Co?
Goodbye, nurse.
Że co? Ej! Jak nie zadziałało? O co tu chodzi? Halo?
Good evening.
Proszę tutaj odpowiedzieć na pytania.
Goodbye, Dr.
Zaraz
Tippett.
powiem zaraz, kurczę, doktorowi Swensejowi, że tutaj, kurde, jakieś się praktyki oddziałają. O, buteleczka. O, tutaj mamy... O, ale się tutaj wygibają. O, wygibasy. Kurczę,
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
sobie te pytania o chorobie.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
Ale
She's quite
zabawa.
harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
O! Jakaś...
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here.
Dobra.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Także, dobra. Także fajnie, że tutaj macie
Goodbye
się
for now.
coraz więcej PD. A coś
Good
tutaj.
evening, Miss Howcroft.
Good evening.
How are you tonight?
Howcroft?
Blood doctor. Warm,
Ciepłej,
rich,
odżywczej,
vibrant blood.
soczystej krwi. Wow. Czekajcie,
I'll leave
żeby
you,
coś nie...
miss-
Żeby coś nie sknocić, nie? Tego to zostawimy. Dziada starego. Jakipa... Tak jest. Gwynetko. O właśnie, ta i ta. Kotarda. I wierzy, że jest wampirzycą. A, to ona nie jest prawdziwym wampirem. Jednak.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Są czystej krwi.
Tell me, Thelma,
Opowiedz.
why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, doctor. I think we have a bond
Tak,
of some
tak głośno
sort.
powiedział, że on
We've both suffered so
słyszał.
much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Wycierpieliśmy.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are
Łączy.
romantically involved?
Romantyczne.
No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it.
Potrzeba mu
But I
jednak
am not the woman he
innej
needs.
kobiety.
No,
Gdyż
for
ja
I am a
jestem
vampire,
wampirzycą.
doctor.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, doctor.
Aha. Okej.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood is the only drug I need.
Okej.
I'll
Żegnam.
leave you.
Time has lost its effect on me. But the
daily
suffering
route.
continues.
Dobra, to teraz
Good
ty.
evening. Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine.
Okej.
Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
Okej. A, czyli potrzebuję
Goodbye
jakieś
for now,
jeszcze
Mr.
wskazówki. To chyba nie na razie. Chyba nie. Halo. Ej, co jest? Kurczę. Nie wiem, czasem mi ta kamera i postać się tak dziwnie
Hello again, Dr.
zablokują,
Reed.
że nie mogą...
I feel better.
Dobra.
Goodbye, Mr.
Czyli ty nic już nie powiesz więcej. No, możesz w mordę, jeża. No, poczekajcie. O, znalazłem tutaj jeszcze taką fajną ciekawostkę. Ząbki czosnku i drewnianych kołkach. No to tyle. Nowości. Dobra, mamy następną osobę. Opowiedz mi o
What can you
sobie.
tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Jesteś aż tak
Are you
bogata?
really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble
Pochodzi
origin, if I
z
may say so.
rynsztoka,
Yes.
jak ja.
Thanks to my husband.
Jestem wampirem z rynsztoka.
I can
Doktorem.
cover any needed medical expenses.
Mogę pani jakoś pomóc.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more
Nauczycielką jest
ambitious about their
bogata?
futures than their
What
families.
the... Jest nauczycielką jest bogata. To się nie
What
zdarza.
do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. but we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there
Okay.
something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
O, jakiś nowa powiedz o swoim przyjeździe.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
A, Pipa sobie policzyła za zasługi. Kazała ci
She
zapłacić.
charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Wiesz,
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be
Ale to
sure
jednak
that
Pipa.
I'll talk to the people involved.
Czego się
I
pani
don't expect
spodziewała?
compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
O, faktycznie, no. Trochę to jest...
Goodbye,
no.
Mrs. Goswick.
To porozmawiamy z tym swoim...
Good evening. I'm Dr.
synem.
Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why
Yeah.
are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes,
Tak i nie.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer.
Mortimer.
Mortimer Goswick.
Osobiste pytania najpierw. Powiedz coś o sobie... Okej.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Fajnie, fajnie. Twoje życie.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful.
So
I'll let you get some rest.
Good evening, sir.
Aha.
Good evening, Miss.
I'm a...
Wait a minute.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here.
Może tu zaraz
She'd go all the way to hell
wykombinujemy
and back to help me.
jakiś ten.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Dobra.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
Podaj lekarstwo? Mam takie?
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Dałem mu lekarstwo? Serio?
I
Dobra,
have to go.
I'm alright.
dałem mu
Don't waste
lekarstwo.
your time with me.
A tu,
Good evening, Doctor.
Aniusiu,
How is my son doing?
dałem mu jakieś lekarstwo, ale nie wiem co mu dałem i gdzie mu dałem. Dobra,
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
dobranoc. Proszę. Ma 2600 pani Goswick i on...
Good evening, sir.
Dać mu jakieś lekarstwo. A tu jest Crane. Właśnie.
Yes, Doctor?
Aha.
That's all.
Blaming me will not further your agenda, sir. How long's it going to take to fix me properly? A month? A year? You have the right to disapprove of our methods, and you will kindly apologize when you're feeling better.
Co się
Good
tutaj
evening,
stało?
I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us
Ordinator.
of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Wielkim wielbicielem jesteś. Potrzebuję wskazówki.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
Dobra. Nie znosi nowoczesnych metod. Na szpitalu.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Powiedz o
I
swoich
based my
eksperymentach.
technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Kurczę, tak.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Z chęcią pomogę. No dobra.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Dobra. Piedu, babcie sranie. Po szpitalu.
What can you tell me?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Optymistycznie.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Okej. Nowe śledztwo mam.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Zawiści.
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
To ciekawe, dobra. O twojej
Tell me
technice.
more about your willingness
me
to experiment
more.
with new medical techniques.
Harvey
Tell
Fiddick
me
is a
more.
patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his
Okłamał.
injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
A, coś mówi.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping
Normalnie
his
jakbym-
distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with
O, tam ktoś
desires,
się
hopes, and fears.
Drze
Not some
kogoś boli
biological
w
machine
tym
comprised
szpitalu.
of blood,
Dalej
bones,
go
and flesh.
odnoszę. Odnoszę najdalej. Nie choruj,
Goodbye,
omijaj
Dr. Strickland.
szpitale. Tak jest. Więc może tym akcentem sobie zakończymy ten odcinek. Dziękuję Państwu za uwagę i do usłyszenia niebawem. Elo!